Good evening, Dandadan fans. Welcome to another MonDandadays Day. This is chapter 195. We're a little bit late. That's my bad. This is my Ibo. Vonte, somewhere. Over, left, right, somewhere. Welcome. We did that in different time zones. Yeah. Sharknado. What's going on?
What's going on with you? Your favorite quote?
What's going on with you?
We are here. Tatsu, madman. I see that Tatsu seems like he's going to be on break after this chapter. So, yeah, he deserves it, though. He's only had, one break on his own in his entire run so far. The other ones are obviously, he's forced to, get out the office and like, hey, come here. Like, no, I want to keep on drawing and writing. No.
Well, the thing is, he actually worked through Golden Week. So this is, I think, his Golden Week. He's a madman. He's a madman. He's also insane with what he draws and writes. But, yeah.
We're living in the Dandadan age, man. Y'all, I know y'all been seeing those trailers and all. That shit looks so good. It's ridiculous.
I have a feeling it's gonna start to pop off in July.
Yep.
Stonks upwards. Yes.
And I've said this a few times though, but I'm really happy that a lot of people like Dandadan. Like as early as season 1, a lot of people was really into it. And I think it's just because it has, obviously, when it comes to shonen in the modern times, it's good to relate to the people. At this point, we've read these stories time and time again, so the fictional worlds, even though it's still a bit fictional, it's getting into like the actual like Japan, and as you can see, we're in the plane right now going over potentially the Devil's Sea or something, Devil's Triangle.
Yeah, all the real life references are really a welcomed addition to the whole shonen genre, because like you were saying, with like Konoha in Naruto or Soul Society in Bleach, that's a made up world. And yes, these are all to a certain extent made up worlds, but I do love the real life applications, because when we start to do our own research, much like Tatsu and many other mangaka do their own research trips or breaks, like we can start to make some connections. One thing that Vonte brought up that I was unaware of was the pygmy species. And then one thing I brought up was the Sumerians. So these real world, real life analogies, references, keep them coming. What up, Sherm?
Sherm, the goat, the Mugen Eclipse goat. The employee of the month, like in SpongeBob.
Sherm's on like 88 in a row.
The sub of the month. And I think, especially since he went on break right now, I think what we've been saying about chapter 200 being like some kind of...
He's preparing for it.
I think so. That's like a month out, or a little over a month out. Definitely. And, well, actually, is the anime going to be out by then?
I mean, if he keeps taking a couple of breaks, it's supposed to be July. This is the 19th.
14
Next
days
week
from
he's
now
off is the 26th. Then it'd be the 3rd. Yeah, he might literally coincide it with the first episode of season 2 coming out with chapter 200.
7, 8, 9. And I mean, the people that was in the arc, we got people here: Gigi, Momo, Seiko. Obviously the Subterraneans, the Kito family. So, oh yeah, he's definitely going to overlap for sure.
What type of arc plotline do you think we're going to be? Do you think it'll be like Atlantis? Like, imagine an underground Atlantis, like where the Subterraneans built their super city.
Maybe. Do you think that's like kind of what happened with like with Vamola's people? Do you think it's gonna be something like that with the Kito family, where they are going to like a separate section of their people, or a more ancient section of their people, something like that? Or
here's the thing. What if there is an analogous species of subterraneans on the Sumerian planet? We know nothing about this species of subterraneans.
Earth idea. Sumeria. Yeah, all these planets in origins. That's another thing in the series. The origins of what? What is the origin of what? I don't know. Does it matter? I'm not gonna get into politics, but there's situations happening somewhere else in the world where that's been going on for years. Maybe Tatsu is, he dabbles into the historical stuff like that of beefs and such. If you get what I'm putting down.
Beefs is I get it. I get it.
But Sharknado.
I've never seen the movie. I obviously know of the meme, and it's about to go down.
Literally.
Could have chose my wording better. What do you guys think about my audio today? I did turn it down a little bit. I think I was a little bit too loud. My last recording session with Vonte and then the last live stream. I think it's good now. I might just talk a little bit softer, but otherwise, I think I'm going to try to go first. That's all right? Yep. All right, guys. So what Vonte is going to do in just a second, he's going to peace out, going to turn off the mic, going to turn off his camera. I'm going to blind react to the chapter first, and then once we have a quick little discussion, that's when I'm going to bring him back in. You are going to get his blind reaction. Since this is a dual reaction channel, we try to get you as many blind reactions to chapters as we possibly can. So, with that being said, it is time for chapter 195. Like the stream if you enjoy. And with that being said, let's read. It's a typhoon direct hit. All these sharks. Oh my goodness. It's a typhoon. A what? They're flying sharks. Yeek. Huh? Sharks? I want to see. For real? Damn, I wish I could see them. That makes no sense. Why would sharks be in the sky? I mean... a break in the fuselage. One of the sharks came through. Grab onto something, Dodoria screams. Oh my god, all the oxygen masks are coming out. A shark? You gotta be kidding. What? Put on the oxygen mask. Otherwise, you'll get hypoxemia. Hypoxemia? I don't know why I'm struggling to say that. And shout out to Reika covering up Daichi's mouth. Mama, help. Damn it. Protect yourselves for once. This is seriously bad. Momo, hold on. I'm coming to help. Vamola, get big and plug up the hole. Vamola. It's no use. She can't hear me. Vamo-chan, get big, plug the hole. Wagata. She's a little cork. She kind of looks like the Michelin Man in these couple of pages. All right, and then the plane is literally falling out of the sky. Yikes! I almost bought the farm. I hate that phrase. Yeah, shark! What in tarnation is up with these damn sharks? They're in the sky because they got whipped up in the typhoon. They're super frozen. Oh. Wait, so this isn't like a yokai's power? It's maybe just a typhoon and these are unfortunate casualties? They're just barely plugging up the holes. Well, we don't know if they'll come loose, so sit down and put your seatbelts on. Mama, what do we do? At this rate, we're gonna crash. Crap. Damn. What the hell? Damn. Shit. Anybody hurt? Nobody got sucked out? No. Famola, are you okay? I'm okay. Sharks are biting my back, though. Momo, wait, what? There is one hanging on. I thought they were frozen. So did that one unfreeze, or did the jaw just, like, go towards her butt? Pause. Anyway, Momo, are you here? I'm here. It's way cold, though. It's an extreme 50 below out there. Damn, sharks really did a number on this plane. Seriously, at this rate, we're gonna freeze like those sharks. Ugh. Granny, are you okay? Miss Seiko. Momo, so that's where you are. Granny, so you can see me? But you had no reaction to me at all before. I see. The medication must have dulled my senses. But this is bad. I can only barely sense your presence. In this typhoon, nothing like this has ever happened before. It's not even summer. Typhoons never happen this time of year. Not to mention the sharks slamming into us. This is huge. Do you think the god of Shimane is refusing us? Could the evil eye be the cause? We've got curses on us, so... No. The god of Izumo would accept anybody at all. The god would never refuse people like this. So what the hell is going on? There's a nose floating out there. There's no way that's normal. Isn't that a typhoon human? Typhoon human? Look, see? There's a nose and a mouth too. Hang on, what's a typhoon human? The typhoon human was a cryptid named by the cryptologist professor Takashi Nakazawa. The typhoon is a living being. After collating the testimonies of eyewitnesses of flying eyeballs and noses, I have determined it to be a creature that dismembers itself and flies through the air. In other words, but what does that mean? So it's a cryptid from the typhoon? Hat, world's first, a moving meeting place. Who is this guy? I know we just got his name, but like, just a random theorist? Shout out to what we were just talking about before we started. Whole controversy with Oda, but we'll get into that later. No! It means the typhoon itself is a living cryptid. How's that? Okarun's crazy for cryptids. He told me all about it. Before, the Serpo aliens used Nessie to attack us. So maybe they're using that typhoon human too. Hold on a sec. The plane's circling around. They must be planning an emergency landing at a nearby airport. We're in empty space. Is the real world getting hit by the typhoon too? I did ask that question, Momo, so at least we're vibing in that regard. We're saved. We'll be able to temporarily go back and wait out the typhoon. We can't go back. If we lose this chance, they're jumping out of the plane. Oh my god. We won't get another till next year. Your presence is already hazy to me. In a year, I may have forgotten you. We have to go there today, no matter what. But how? With the way things are, the plane's already started to turn back. There's nothing we can do. There is something we can do. If it's gonna get in our way, then we're gonna have to kick the shit out of that typhoon. Tatsu, I don't really appreciate you making me say that out loud, because if anyone heard me out of context, I would be immediately impounded inside of an insane asylum because you are crazy. Also, page 18 is immaculate. There's no way. We're talking about a typhoon. Typhoons are governed by principles, just like anything else. They're caused by a warm ocean water and the water vapor it generates. So you could say the warm ocean water is heating the engine. They're generally made up of these two things, and the water vapor is the gasoline. This is definitely some One Piece-esque meteorology type of like, Nami could explain this in the next chapter on Elbaf. Literally. Eliminating either one will extinguish the typhoon, and the thing that will serve as the key to doing that will be... Bruh, are they about to hop in the carcass of a frozen shark, much like the Anakin Skywalker, or Luke Skywalker, I should say, in the Tauntauns? Oh my goodness. Seiko, you're crazy. You're crazy, lady. I love you, but you're crazy. All right, well, pretty straightforward chapter. If anyone would like to chime in, this is just an explanation on how it's not technically Count Saint Germain. It's not the proxy that was with Misadachi underneath the bridge. This is a cryptid that is a human typhoon. I have never heard of this before. So I'm sure this is a thing, or at least this could be based in reality. I could definitely see this being a real life cryptid, because I've heard of some of them before, obviously Nessie, but this one, I have not heard this one before. All right, but unless anyone has any immediately something to say, I'm gonna get Vonte back in here. And he's taking a break next week. So in case you guys were unaware, next Monday, I will reach out to Laz to see if he's doing anything. We might be able to finally have the discussion video that we've been wanting to do. And I think it's a perfect time with all the season 2 trailers for Dandadan coming out for the anime. And obviously there's no chapter next week. So this would be a perfect time to get Laz's opinion on the series as a whole, get some of his theories going, and just have a fun time. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, because we have been talking to Laz about doing that for quite some time. And as long as he's not doing anything next Monday, I think this will be a good time. Oh wait, does he work Tuesday morning? Oh no, but next Monday is the holiday. I'm gonna be out of town for at least the morning. All right, logistically, we got to work some stuff out.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Your tornado turn. That was bad. I'm sorry. Bye-bye.
No, I like, you know, hey, that's what we always resonate, you know. It's a typhoon direct hit. That's the chapter title. Okay. That means somebody literally is going to say that probably very soon when I flip the page. I feel like it. But once again, we have the fairy tale card, ears, nose, mouth all above, the sharks all around. Okay. It's a typhoon. A what? They're flying sharks. Well, there you go. Somewhat the line that I just said from the title. Basically, he's already said. they're flying sharks, huh? Sharks, I want to see. For real? Damn, I wish I could see him. I forgot you can't even see him. But, I mean, you probably wouldn't want to see him, to be honest. Not right now, because you'd be freaked out. But I get you, Zoom. I get you. Your eyes going blind. It's not good. It's not nice. That makes no sense. Why would sharks be in the sky? Don't ask it. Don't ask those questions, Momo. You know it's a whole bunch of weird shit that happens to you every other day. Don't even ask it. Grab onto something. Ooh. Why can't I feel like I can see the scene already in the anime, hear how it sounds and everything. I feel like yeah, this is great. Tatsu, week to week, like I said, he's amazing. A shark? You gotta be kidding. Why? Put on the oxygen mask. Otherwise, you'll get hypoxemia. Boy, Daiki. Yes, Raya, please protect him. Mama, help. Damn it. Protect yourselves for once. This is seriously bad. For real. Y'all some grown-ass men. Momo, hold on. I'm coming to help. Momola, get big and plug the hole. Momola, it's no use. She can't hear me. Famo-chan, get big. Plug the hole. That's crazy. She really can't. And I find it kind of interesting that, I mean, obviously we've seen Seiko. Like, she also, like, the memory thing is messing with her too. But with Momola specifically, I mean, it makes sense. Gigi, like we've been saying, Gigi's closer to Momo. But the Seiko thing is still interesting. I don't know. But I like that we're always reminded that Momola obviously can't see or hear her. Oh, okay. She plugged up the hole. Oof. Yikes. I almost bought the farm. Yeah, a shark. Is that Bruce from Finding Nemo? I never knew my father. Sorry. Cracking myself up. Anyway, what in tarnation is up with these damn sharks? They're in the sky because they got whipped up in a typhoon. They're super frozen. They're just barely plugging up the holes. Well, we don't know if they'll come loose, so sit down and put your seatbelts on. Mama, what do we do? At this rate, we're going to crash. Crap. Damn, what the hell? Damn shit. Anybody hurt? Nobody got sucked out? No. Momola, are you okay? I'm okay. Sharks are biting back, though. Momo, are you here? I'm here. The fact that he asked that question, like we've been saying, I think she's going to end up getting lost in this, some point in this arc. Because they're not going to be able to keep up with her. Especially since it's like, really, he's like the only one that has like real eyes on her, you know, and that can communicate with her. Obviously, Zuma can too, but he's blind, so it'll be hard for him. It's way cold, though. It's an extreme 50 below out there. Damn, sharks really did a number on this plane. Seriously, at this rate, we're going to freeze like those sharks. Urgh. Granny, are you okay? Miss Seiko. Momo, so that's where you are. Granny, so you can see me? But you had no reaction to me at all before. I see. The medication have dulled my senses. But this is bad. I can only barely sense your presence. In this typhoon, nothing like this has ever happened before. It's not even summer. Typhoons never happen this time of year. Not to mention the sharks slamming into us. This is huge. Do you think the god of Shimane is refusing us? That's something I wouldn't have thought about, but I don't know. Obviously, they're like very much in, like they're not in the know. But still, that's a good thought that I didn't think about. Could the evil eye be the cause? We've got curses on us, so no. The god of Izumo would accept anybody at all. Okay, that god would never refuse people like this. So what the hell is going on? There's a nose floating out there. There's no way that's normal. Isn't that a typhoon human? Typhoon human. Look, see, there's a nose and a mouth too. Hang on, what's a typhoon human? The typhoon human was a cryptid named by the cryptologist Professor Takeshi Nakazawa. Okay. World first, a moving meeting place. Okay. The typhoon is a living being after colliding the testimonies of eyewitnesses of flying eyeballs and noses. I have determined it to be a creature that dismembers itself and flies through the air. In other words, but what does that mean? So it's a cryptid from the typhoon. No, it means the typhoon itself is a living cryptid. How's that? Okudun's crazy for cryptids. He told me all about it. Before the Serpo aliens used Nessie to attack us, so maybe they're using that typhoon human too. Okay. I mean, I like that they're thinking about a whole bunch of different stuff right now. Who's to say? Like, I don't know. But going from what Okudun, he does a lot of studying on this stuff. I would assume that he's mostly in the ballpark for this situation specifically. Hold on a sec. The plane circling around. They must be planning to make an emergency landing at a nearby airport. We're in empty space. Is the real world getting hit by the typhoon too? We're saved. We'll be able to temporarily go back and wait out the typhoon. We can't go back. If we lose this chance, we won't get another till next year. Your presence is already hazy to me. In a year, I may have forgotten you. We have to go there today, no matter what. But how, with the way things are? The plane's already starting to turn back. There's nothing we can do. There is something we can do. If it's going to get in our way, then we're going to have to kick the shit out of that typhoon. And she means literally too. People be kicking up in here in this plane. I think literally every character in this plane, for the most part, do some kicks. But we kind of talked about it with like GG with his spirals and the whole cheese stuff and doing some kicks with the little soul ball thing that he has, the ball of souls. There's no way. We're talking about typhoon. Typhoons are governed by principles just like anything else. They're caused by warm ocean water, and the water vapor it generates. They're generally made up of these two things in the water. Okay, I'm reading. See, when I'm reading like the scientific diagram, I feel like I'm reading it out of order, so don't mind me. But so the eyes of the typhoon up there, okay. The updrafts, obviously, yes. The spiral bands, and the water vapor is the gasoline. So cloud generation, temperature increase, engine, thermal radiations, atmospheric pressure drop, updrafts. That's in that cycle. Makes sense. So you could say the warm ocean water is the engine. Eliminating either one will extinguish the typhoon. And the thing that will serve as the key to doing that will be the sharks. So we gotta kind of take command over the sharks, essentially. I mean, by forcefully doing it. But like spirals, that's all I can think about. Spirals.
I had
using that warm water. Okay.
They cannot stay in that plane.
So they're gonna ride the sharks.
A yeehaw, shark time, or alternatively, I thought that they would get inside the sharks because they're frozen, and then use them as like either like a parachute or kind of like bubble wrap of jumping out of the airplane. I thought back to Star Wars with Luke, how he got inside the body of the frozen Tauntaun.
Tatsu. This is interesting. I'm just thinking about it like, so how they're gonna have Momo grab them, collect them or something like that? If
I don't know. They have to attack either the warm ocean water or the water vapor. So I think using the sharks, you could theoretically like plug up the eye of the typhoon, maybe. But I mean, they're already getting flung around, so I don't know. This is some One Piece like Skypiea, non-explain the weather type of thing.
Definitely is a team effort. Absolutely. I'm trying to just think of who does what. I mean, I feel like Gigi and Momo is kind of a no-brainer already.
I mean, he's the only one that can hear her and see her consistently, so they have to stick together.
Until they don't. Until they're out of it and Momo's gone. No.
Well, remember when Momo used her spiritual hands as a kind of kite when Okarun was running in episode 4? So I'm thinking that if she jumps out of the plane with Gigi, she could be his parachute. He could do the spiral thing, kind of attack the water vapor at the top, and then, I don't know, maybe Vamola can jump down into the water and, like, splash around the warm water. I don't know. Also, if this thing is a living and breathing entity, such as a cryptid, it's going to chase the plane. It's not going to just stay in place or go in the left or right direction. It's coming after you. And then, after we defeat it, it's not like the plane is magically going to go back in the same direction it came from. It's still going to the emergency landing port. We're going to have to jump out.
One thing that I loved about this chapter is that, like, they were just trying to figure out what the like what's going on. I like that Momo even thought about the whole the god of Shimane.
Mm-hmm.
Just to throw something out there, like, oh no, like, what is it because of that? Like, I like that. I like, because once again, in real life, kind of like what we briefly said in the intro of this stream about how this series is so relatable. It's so similar to real life thinking. Like, the characters, and a lot of shonen characters usually think in ways that we don't really think typically.
Yeah.
That's why we all have like our favorite moments in series, because those moments are usually more grounded and you can relate to them. Besides like the action moments, but in this series, the way that characters think is very similar to how a lot of us would think. So I like that.
That is definitely that shark from Finding Nemo. I didn't even put that together. I was like, that's a weird looking. All right, whatever.
I never knew my father.
I was cracking up when you said that. Off camera, of course. Bruce. But I love like Marshmallow Vamola. She turned into like a little squish ball.
This is an interesting arc, because I just know once they get free, some bullshit is going to happen that's going to still ruin something. Or they might end up in another place that they, I don't know.
What do you make of the fact of the human typhoon? Do you think it is being utilized by aliens? It is being used by Sanjime? Do you think this is, hey, this is my domain, you enter and you shall get thrown away?
I want to say it has to do with the fairy tale card, so it has to do with Sanjime, honestly.
You think so? Because I thought that the facial features was just a part of the human typhoon.
I don't know, they just they're too on the nose. It's too on the nose. It reminds me of that splitting of facial features. I mean, but it could be. It might just be like a
case of mistaken identity. Yeah,
exactly.
Fair.
Because otherwise, wouldn't they already know? Like Momo, for example, I have to think back to that arc. She knows what it looks like, right? Or she came out kind of after.
She came out after
Turbo Grain,
so she wouldn't know.
And Zoom was blind, so I don't.
Well, I just thought it was kind of interesting how they had that almost one-page flashback of Momo and Okarun for it just to be, like the proxy of Sanjime.
Right.
That's why I thought it was an actual cryptid with a face that is moving around. I don't know where the sharks come in though. That's a wild card. They were just like a school of sharks that just went underneath the typhoon and they just got picked up. And I asked the question, my reaction, I was like, are they just unlucky bystanders in this situation? They're just like, we're swimming.
Probably.
Oh my god, we're in the air. We're frozen. It's -50.
Yeah, since there's an updraft, yeah, they just got they're forced.
You poor guys.
Tatsu, your brain is just interesting though. Like, no one could ever predict this arc, this situation, not even close.
Have you heard of the phenomenon of raining spiders?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, guys. So, little story time in case you were unaware. There is a phenomenon that occasionally happens. I think the last time that I heard, because of course it was in Australia, where spider eggs, since they're so minuscule, they actually went up in the air with water vapor because of the evaporation, and then they hatched in the sky, and then when it condensed or they got too heavy, then it literally rained spiders in Australia. And I'm just thinking to myself, if Tatsu used that story as like an analogous it's raining sharks, or any reference to Sharknado, Oh man, I love this series. It is so unique.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Why do I kind of feel like this chapter kind of foreshadowed that this set of characters are going to be separated for a long time? Two reasons. One, obviously Seiko said that we gotta do this now. We gotta go to Shimane now, or else it'll be a year. That's one thing that's like in the back of my mind. But also the fact that there's sharks here. Do we have to like eat them, cook them? You know, like, and we're like in this
They
spot
are
where we're
technically technically edible. It's not very tasty, but they are edible.
And we're stranded.
Oh my god!
So I feel like that might happen. At least for some months.
Sherm just shared in Twitter. What the hell?
Okay.
That is scary. No.
Let me see what you got here in the chat. Typhoon. Why do I keep doing that? Typhoon.
No, I was saying the same thing.
How's that a tongue twister? What the hell's going on, man? What's going on?
Typhoon.
Human is a fire.
Look at that. That's scary.
Okay.
I don't know, whatever website that is, Sharon. Oh my god, it is riddled with ads, though. They keep punching me in the face. So, real life phenomenon.
Yep. Once again, shout out to Tatsu with these real life references and stuff because it's fresh. It keeps people interested. Like, watch, when we see a lot of anime onlys watching the anime, they're gonna pick up on certain stuff. Like, hey, I know about that. Oh, I heard about that. And that's something that's, I mean, that would keep people locked in with the series because like you're adding things that to a lot of people is relevant, especially when it comes to like conspiracy theories and all the stuff that we have been seeing. It's like you're reading a fictional series talking like with meta commentary about real life conspiracy theories. So it's pretty cool. Hell, it might give us some ideas of some, crazy shit happens one day. What would Okurun do? Oh, use the heater. Fast from Target.
Is that like one of his moves or name of his moves?
Typhoon.
Or his nickname? I can't say I've watched Trigun, even though I have been interested in it. What I was going to say is one of my favorite aspects about our Haikyuu watch through on the channel has been those comments, I believe from Bree-chan, in which he gives us the naming background or history behind their names. Like, obviously, like, Suki, I know, is, like, reminiscent of the moon. Hanada, the sun. But yeah, with Dandadan, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of those comments as well. There'll be people that'll be like, oh, did you know the human typhoon, it was actually saw on August 8th of 1994.
I'm not gonna lie, I really think that they're going to be stranded for some months. I think they're going to crash on an island somewhere, or at least go to shore somewhere.
Ooh.
Like, I just feel like when you put a group of people who are at odds against each other, but now they're going to be forced to having to work together to survive, like, and in the Daiki situation, that's just going to make us even more, like, we're going to be stressed out if this does end up happening,
What do you make of a possible temporal bubble? Like, they get locked in this bubble that time works differently inside than outside. Kind of like a natural trunk. A natural curse trunk.
Like Elbaf, the theories that people have at Elbaf. The time.
It's actually been
Louis Arnold.
If so, I know what you are, Tatsu.
I know what you are, exactly. I really feel like that might end up happening. Like, I just keep thinking about the sharks. Like, how do they come and play? Would they help us in the long run? I'm gonna have to eat them. They're frozen. They're getting preserved. Like, they're, like, that's the thing.
Do you think the sharks are sentient? Could they communicate?
I just thought about this. What if their humans turned into sharks for some reason? Because we're going to have to work with them.
Yeah.
Whether it's by force or, having to work together in some kind of way.
I mean, just take a look at the shark on page 11. If it weren't so funny, I would almost like, okay, that kind of looks like a human eye.
Right. I don't know where you're taking us, Tatsu, but you're taking us places. You literally are taking us places.
Oh, another thing I wanted to discuss with you on page 13. Do you think that is foreshadowing for a future God interaction to come? Like there will be a God that rejects you or what you represent. Maybe the evil eye, God forbid.
Then Seiko said they would accept anybody, but like, what does she mean? Just in terms of like humans, or like you said with the evil eye, like is that?
Well, and also,
or Umbrella Boy.
Is it quid pro quo? Do you have to give up something to get something from this God?
Right.
Yeah, sure. So the reason why I said a time bubble is last chapter and also the very first page of this one. If you look at like how dark that sea floor bed is or whatever, I'm sorry, that looks otherworldly. That doesn't look like the ocean. Have we ever seen Tatsu draw the ocean?
Nah,
with
just a river.
Romola's flashback? Or Benga when she was like, I want to go to the ocean before I die?
Probably, yeah.
So I was like, that does not look like the ocean to me.
So I got a question for you guys. Do you think they're going to make it to the God of Shimane, or do you think they won't make it?
I mean, narratively, I'll answer that since I know we don't get a lot of comments on our stream, which is fine. If you're watching and enjoying, that's all we care about. But could you see them finding a lost civilization? I keep coming back to Atlantis. They could have a super advanced technological society. Is this where we finally get the government that know of aliens, that know of yokai, that are the bridge between the two worlds?
I can see that happening. I really don't think that they're going to make it.
So you do think Momo's going to be lost to everyone, possibly even including Gigi?
Yep. While everybody else is also lost too. Yep. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like when Seiko says like we can't go back, if we lose this chance, we won't get another till next year. Like to me, that just sounds like we will not make it because I don't know. Like maybe in the back of my mind, I'm already thinking that. Like without her saying it, I'm already thinking like, oh well, they probably won't make it in time or something. Because I mean, obviously, they got to get there. Because first you have the Kito family, whatever they're going to do, fight against us. That was also going to hold us back. But the fact that she stated that, I just feel like it in the thing that follows it right after she says, your presence is already hazy to me. In a year I have made forgotten you. I think that's going to happen. So
I also took that to potentially mean we could have up to a year. Because she didn't completely close the door of the opportunity. It's probably likely that she forgets her. So I don't know, maybe Daiki has a little bit more time to live than we initially thought. But I would just kept thinking when you said Momo's going to be forgotten, that also means that Daiki is going to die, doesn't it?
Yep.
Because they're not mutually exclusive, they are connected, which means Zuma will be completely blind.
I think that's going to happen. They'll be later than they want, basically, at least.
And then my next point is there any way to reverse, or is there a point of no return? I would think dying is a point of no return. I would think complete blindness is a point of no return. Can you ever recover the memories of a lost person, of a lost small gnome or spirit fairy? I don't know.
Someone's gonna get the fairy tale card's eyes, or I don't know. That would be horrific. No, Zuma, no.
I mean, he might even be more badass without eyeballs.
But yeah, I think they're gonna be later than they want. Like it's gonna be some months or something like that, and Daiki would already be probably dead. I think that's what's gonna happen, honestly. And that also separates them from the rest of the cast too. So like, imagine our other characters. They don't know where we're at for 4 months or something like that,
Kind of
or
risky,
whatever.
Don't you think?
What?
Unless Tatsu does like a time skip over the course of like 1 or 2 chapters. I'm saying in real world time, how long does he keep this section of the crew separate?
Oh, I mean, he could spend as much time as like some of the other arcs. I don't know exactly which ones, but like lengthwise somewhere like that, and then you go back to the main crew in between, maybe at different times to see like how they react to like as time is going on, and he switch back for a few chapters, and then mostly stay here though, for the most part.
So you do not think we will go away from this scene and stay away? You think it'll just hop back and forth?
I think we're gonna stay here most of the time, but we will go to everybody else sometimes.
Quick check-ins.
And if something big's happened to them with the absence of these characters, then it's like, yeah.
See, I'm actually of the opposite mindset. I think what we should have is primarily the story follow Okarun and his crew, and then this be little snapshots every now and then. And then we can go back. I'm really curious how Tatsu's going to incorporate this splitting of the party, because he already did, but we got a lot of focus with the Koki crew. So are we going to get a lot of focus with the Momo crew now, or is he just going to show us the ending of their lives and then go back again to the Koki crew?
I just feel like I think there's like so much that can happen here during that time in series, that I feel that for us, the viewer, if we were to spend more time with Ken's group, all the questions that we have here, we'll be so anxious. And I know that's what a lot of authors, they do that on purpose. But I feel we'll be left with more confusion when we come back here and different things are happening, like in terms of like where are they? When it comes to them, losing the vision, Daiki getting older, Momo getting forgotten. I don't know. I feel like we should be up to speed with them more often than anything, personally.
Okay. Do you think Benga and crew will make a return in this particular segment? Is that going to be how we get from point A to the Shimane Shrine? They're going to pick us up on the fighter jet? Or is it too soon?
I was thinking that, but for some reason I feel they're going to run into Ken's crew first. Like some series do that, where like a character that's closely related to another character.
I know that character.
Exactly, yeah. And then they're going to say, well, we lost them. We don't know where they are. Oh, okay.
No, they died 3 months ago. What do you mean they died 3 months ago?
I don't know, though. We'll see what Tatsu does. Because whatever he does, obviously, is going to be great. Because, But I just really think that things aren't going to go well for us altogether on this side of the group. Nope. Not gonna get there in time. Daiki's gonna die. Zuma's gonna go blind. That rhyme. Not a rapper. Bars. But...
Bars.
Blind Zuma, huh?
I just hate that I'm coming to the conclusion that I have to accept Daiki is more than likely going to die. I hate that.
Well, hey, God of Shimane, hey, do some godly things. Hey, if you already died, bring him back.
Oh, imagine the god of Shimane takes over Daiki's body.
What? Didn't you search up Daiki's name? Did it mean sky or something like that?
Great wind, great sky.
Do some research on Shimane.
Shi, I know in Japanese means death. I don't know what mane means or shimane necessarily means. I know that the particular shrine they're going to is known primarily for marriage or kinship.
Yeah,
what else?
And prosperity.
Okay.
Shimane Prefecture in Japan is known as the land of the gods due to its rich history and strong connection to Japanese mythology. So Shinto shrine. So yeah, marriage, prosperity. Okay. So it's known as the land of the gods. So
land of the gods, plural.
I mean, that sounds like heaven, and Daiki's going to die. So yeah, there might be a connection. Maybe. That will hurt. And I really think Tatsu's going to do that. I think he's going to have Daiki die. Or at least toy with us so much that we think he is, but he won't. It's either or.
Narratively, I don't know what I want, because I know if he follows through on two things. If he follows through on Daiki's death, and if he follows through on Momo being forgotten by her peers, up to and including Gigi or Okurun, I just know narratively speaking, those two is going to have so much meat on the bone that he can play with. But on the other hand, I know in canon universe, that's going to hurt these characters so much. Momo has never truly felt alone. And another cool reference to real world mythology, I believe that she is actually based her current situation. Did you know this?
What?
Princess Kaguya. Let me see if I can find something, but it's about a very small woman who fits in the palm of a hand and goes back to her parents who were aliens.
You know what's hilarious? So when I was looking at the Shimane, so it says Shimane's true claim to fame is that it was the very birthplace of what we know as Japan. In the early mist of times, the primordial gods Izanami and Izanagi gave birth to much of the Shinto pantheon after first creating the world. So, love all these Naruto references now. Izanagi, Izanami.
I know what you are, Tatsu.
I know what you are, man. And we did actually say something about Naruto last stream, I think.
I think, yes. Might have been
Bleach.
Spirals or
something like that. He said, Big know. 3. I got y'all, Big 3.
That's what I
said, I know y'all love your Big 3. Well, Sharks, Kisame, oh my god. What the hell? Kisame.
The god of Izumo would accept anybody at all. Wait a second.
Oh, then that's specifically Izumo. Yeah, that specific.
She made a different connection than the god of Shimane.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that the first time.
I think Shimane is mostly like the place, and I think Momo just kind of, since she doesn't really like know, she just kind of said, since that's where they're going.
That's like,
but it is known as the land of the gods. Yeah,
I see.
So
and the god of Izumo is probably a specific god.
revered as the Shinto deity of marriage and relationships. So specifically, is one of the oldest and most sacred Shinto shrines in Japan. So Izumo is located in Shimane, so it's a place there, and that was known as the marriage and prosperity.
Sherm thinks that they are absolutely going to make it there, but he doesn't know if it will be on time.
I think if they do, I think it will definitely be later than they want, for sure.
Ooh, imagine they have to make a choice, a la Attack on Titan, Armin. Daiki or Momo.
Oh, that choice. Okay.
and then the splitting of, hey, no, we need to save this old man who's dying. No, hey, we need to save my granddaughter. Hey, no, we need to save my love interest. Zuma and Gigi arguing. Are you listening? I think he said
that would
actually. Now that I laid it out, I think he said.
I would actually get angry, not like in a bad way, writing wise. I'll really get frustrated, or I'm like, I mean, like, and I know what Tatsu would do if I don't know if Daiki can speak right now, but he'll probably say something or do something.
I've lived my life, and then Momo would be like,
where
oh,
Erwin
up,
with the hand. Something like that. Yeah. Damn. I know what you are, Tatsu. We know what you are.
Not fooling me.
So, of course, he's also considered a mythical pioneer and ruler of Izumo, receiving the shrine as a gift from the sun goddess Amaterasu. So,
okay.
So Okununushi is also considered a mythical pioneer and the ruler of Izumo, which is the place.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. Maybe in Dandadan places, people and things, it's just all the same too. Which, I mean, it makes sense. God of the lands, gods, you know.
I really hope Tatsu expands upon the gods of the lands here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like this is the perfect place to finally, uncover that Band-Aid.
Especially with Seiko being right here, and this is the stuff that you do, Seiko, for sure. I wonder what she's been gifted.
Down to Daiki versus Momo. Gifted in what way? Or gifted, like...
I feel like, I don't know, like, the things that she do, the offering, or, like, the stuff that she does with her spirit medium work, I feel like she's probably being granted or gifted something in return because she does her service to the gods of the lands while, there's all these yokai and all this other bullshit in the background from, like, Sanjime and aliens and stuff. I feel like she... Unless she just like burns, I'm just praying to pray. It's not for me wanting anything. It's what I do.
Do you think there's anything else she has to give up besides prayers?
Probably. I don't know what though. She's missing a kidney. Oh my god.
That's why she can't take her medication.
Oh.
I was trying to make a connection. I don't know how you feel about this. Do you think the gods are related to the human karmic ball that Turbo Granny was so upset about? Because typically, gods are meant to either be benevolent or malevolent. And the whole smitten, I shall smite you.
So you think it's like an inverse type of thing where like the gods are, since like people worship them and they like give offerings of like human karmic balls to them, do you think that's like, that would make us think like, I don't know if these are good people, while the yokai, which remember going back to Ken's hypothesis or his theory about them protecting Earth, so are yokais actually the
Good guys?
Not, yeah. Like, is this one of those kind of stories where it's like,
I mean, if
like
we
a great
introduce
story?
a third pool of mythos, like the gods, if that's the third side of the triangle and not humans, if humans are in the middle of the triangle, you got yokai, gods, and aliens, and then humans are in the middle.
I don't know. I mean, I know that we read stories as humans, and we're reading stories about aliens. But in my mind, I look at humans as the same thing as aliens now, like in that group.
That's
if
fair.
that makes sense. Yeah. But there's obviously different shit going on here with us that doesn't seem to be the same everywhere else in the cosmos. So,
I mean, it could relate back to an earlier thought that I had for human beings being the only species that can become yokai. And if you want to take it a step further with a lot of shonen series, humans can possibly become gods. If they go out to the cosmos and have enough evolutionary change, technically they could become aliens. We're kind of like the jumping off point for those three specific categories, if you really think about it. I mean, you're gonna have to, kind of back it up a little bit, but
do you think they're going down the gods of the lands is like heaven and the void is like hell? Do you think that's what's being set up to?
I was just really concerned about what Momo theorized in terms of what would she say? Do you think the god, let's just ignore the name, is refusing us? As in, the god is playing with humans like pieces on a chessboard.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go back to that then. Even though that was just a guess from her, do you think that's like a serious thing that could be an issue?
I do.
Even the way that the panel is framed and like
it's kind of off center.
Seiko, and then how Seiko responds, like.
And then you look at Gigi's face in between. Could the evil eye be the cause? And you think about it. He made a choice to specifically preserve Evil Eye as a yokai that had, as the yokai said, world-conquering abilities. I don't think the god that may even rely upon human prayers for its sustenance, I don't think it wants Evil Eye going all crazy across the planet. I don't think it wants a yokai ruling the world.
I mean, because the Evil Eye literally is like the ultimate op. He wants to kill everybody. So if there's no people for the gods, I guess, to have worship them or whatever, then yeah, he's definitely a direct enemy to them, whatever it is.
Yeah, and then
so that's the dilemma,
You juxtapose
like that.
Momo's theory versus Seiko's statement. So she says a god will accept everybody, and then Momo's theorizing, is this other god rejecting us? So that shows that there could even be conflict within the gods themselves.
You know what I just thought? I think this just puts even more death flags on Gigi. It goes back to him and Seiko, their responsibility of allowing this to keep on going.
Yes.
They both agreed with it. And then now on this page, it's like, if what Momo is, just guessing, theorizing is
if that could piss
fact,
off a god,
then technically speaking, I mean, it does fall down on Gigi and Seiko. So will Gigi sacrifice himself? You did say about like 10 minutes ago when we first got done with the chapter, like, will somebody have to stay behind and like allow the rest of the, like crew to
could
go
you
or something?
imagine, instead of Evil Eye being locked up in Gigi, that it's the reverse, that Gigi has to be locked up in the body that is now Evil Eye? Evil Eye gets the keys to the house. He gets to have the hands on the steering wheel. And that's like a permanent, like, now Gigi has to fight to get switched out.
Maybe. I mean, because everybody at this point is just changing tremendously. Momo literally fucking shrunk. Zuma went blind. Ken doesn't have his power. He doesn't have Turbo Granny's powers anymore. Like,
We
a
are
lot of
so
characters are
different
changing.
from
Yeah.
the start of this story. It's ridiculous.
Like, yeah, characters are changing tremendously. So, Wow. And then, like, the fact that Gigi is going here. Remember, he like, didn't he kind of, like,
with you,
force
Momo.
himself? Exactly. Yeah. You see? So, him being overprotective might...
And
if
then
he wasn't here, maybe
Seiko's
this
like,
wouldn't have happened.
I'll pay for you kids. Yeah, come along, Gigi.
Wow.
And then you
now,
think
like I
back
said, it'd be on
to
them.
the different sides to where Okarun's like, I'll go this way. Now it's everyone's having that doubt. Did I make the right decision in the moment? And then each person, because we said Kenta, he might have been better served to be here. Okay, let's just theoretically switch two people. And I know this doesn't really work for why they split up, but Kenta and Momo, if you swap places, those two fights are washes. The plane gets fixed instantaneously. And I know Momo was supposed to go to Shimane. That's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
But just the switching of two characters makes this entire conflict on both sides easily solved.
Right. I think, yeah, because I really like, and just the fact that in the anime we're about to have the Cursed House arc, so if this does parallel come out concurrently week to week, then I can see Tatsu doing that overlap, and that consequence, that you know, hypothetical consequence has to come back up with the Evil Eye. Like, Evil Eye, he's been kind of okay right now. He hasn't been doing too much, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tatsu said, all right, let me do this over again, because for one, Evil Eye is not really pleased by much right now. Ken doesn't have his power no more, so things are different.
Quick interjection. How long has it been since Okarun lost his powers?
In time, I don't even know how long it's been, but
they're talking like, oh no, you can still fight Okarun next week, as in like today's Wednesday, you know? Isn't it kind of strange how they're talking about...
Unless they're just constantly lying to him, and he's just like, okay.
You think he would accept that, though, with how gung-ho he was to fight Okarun? Like, that is the one thing he accepted. That's the one... you know, that's the one thing that he could concede. That's the one concession he made, is that he gets to fight Okarun. How long has Okarun been without his powers in this universe?
That's a good question. And it really could just be one of those things where he's just is becoming more tame, just naturally without noticing, so he's just not as angsty.
Yeah, I mean, he did have that school arc, which was adorable, but...
So, I don't know. But, I just think things are getting real nasty, so... I think we're kind of on it with these theories. I'm not gonna lie, I think we're kind of on the money.
Because I think it gets to the heart of these characters. So, Gigi and Zuma clashing, they both want the same thing. They both want Momo to survive, be happy, because he feels like he owes her a debt. And also, it solves his own problem. So it's mutually beneficial for Zuma to help Momo. Now, this whole lovers quarrel, should we call it, between Momo, Gigi, and Okarun, I really want to hear something from Momo. I want you to outright either... Do you think her rejecting Gigi might cause Evil Eye to come out? Because he loses control of the, the seal?
I don't think she's going to outright reject him. Yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing like with Okarun, where there's like no answer, no real response. She's going to say the same thing.
Bashful, or like, oh, we'll talk about it when we get back, or when I get back.
And then she's going to be gone. So both of them are going to be waiting. And then everybody's going to start relationships. I think friendships are going to start getting kind of torn to pieces, especially with these groups split. I can see that happening. I can see it. and then insert new characters. That's how that's gonna probably happen. We're gonna start seeing trio groups maybe, but not like groups of 4 and 5 anymore.
That's gonna hurt me so much because I love this entire group and every member of the group. Please don't fight. It's literally the Momola puppy dog. Don't fighting.
It's just obviously, you know, this is something I think a lot of us kind of get annoyed with certain mangaka. Just don't force it too hard. Like, make it make sense naturally. In Gigi's case, I know he's like much more anxious right now than Okurun is, but it makes sense. I mean, you have a damn, you know, a yokai inside of you. You have this energy it can tilt to that side out of nowhere, and then you're already so overprotective of her. So like, if you're being stalled by her, because I think Okurun at this point he's much more patient, and he's actually had a lot of moments with her where I feel like Okurun he just wouldn't crash out. Gigi, however, he's like missed out on a lot.
Well, I mean, he grabbed Zuma's arm when he just got close to Momo. Like, he's... Or close to Ken, but you get what I mean. With Momo in Okurun's hand. But yeah, Gigi, I can see the downfall on the wall. It sucks.
Oh, and it goes back to what we were saying about him and Count Saint Germain. And being a PSG fan, like, I mean, that's on the nose.
I can give you what you want, Gigi. Do you want to make the woman you love fall in love with you too? Follow me.
Oh, I was just thinking about free tickets to the game.
Oh, I took that a completely different direction. No, I think Sanjime makes whisper those sweet nothings into Gigi's ear. Like, we talked about how Okurun could be Sanjime's protege. Imagine it's Gigi. Imagine Gigi comes back with the evil eye strength, the power, and armor.
And the drip,
was naked. He was naked last time. He was in his underwear. Yeah. And now drip. He has an alien suit, which might be explosives. It might have a gun that shoots out something. It might have tethers.
You know, and he's the pretty boy, just like Count Saint Germain.
No.
The pretty boy duo.
No. The pretty boy duo.
Wow. Damn. I just hope Tatsu does it right, because I don't want to get into a situation where I'm like, damn, god damn it, Gigi. Like, I just can't agree with you. Like, I hope there's so much to it that is not just the lover thing, because that's some of the problems that I had with, like, say, like Obito from Naruto. I feel like with the dialogue, you couldn't really... It came off as if it was just from Rin, even though it was much more than that, but the dialogue didn't really make that too apparent, honestly. Sure. And it just seemed like, it was just like, I'm not trying to like downplay love, I'm not, but compared to like Okurun, he's not doing that shit. He's not crashing out, and he's somebody that he has a lot of problems with himself, his own existence, and he's not even crashing out, you know. Like, I mean, even when he wasn't with Momo at the time, he didn't, like, when he seen Gigi, like that whole thing with Gigi and Momo at that moment, like, he never, I can't even in the Curse House arc, he wasn't even angry with Gigi. He was just like, damn, I'm not good enough. That was about it. I have to better myself.
He acknowledged his weakness, but he didn't blame that weakness on Gigi. Just because Gigi was strong. Just because Gigi was competent. Just because Gigi was a prodigy. Just because he was Gigi or Momo's first love. He didn't blame Gigi for any of that. And I love that emotional maturity from Okurun, because as someone who was alone for most of his high school existence, or even his childhood for that matter, it shows that he really can understand the human heart. And isn't that interesting how Sanjime was like, the human heart, so interesting. I don't understand it. And Okarun is probably the best example. What do you mean, child?
He actually might be Ukiora, especially if there's like a bigger.
Remember how you were saying like what other character might he be based off of? He's Ukiora coded.
He really is though. When you think about it, based off his dialogue, like what you just said, his interest,
the main feminine role, silent
and like
most of the time, but he's
so
really
intrigued,
emphatic with what he says, very passionate.
So we're doing a Gigi and Okarun, Naruto and Sasuke. Is that what's happening here? Because put it like this, right? This is what I'm going to say. It's like Gigi being the prodigy. Sasuke is like a prodigy, all that kind of stuff. He had everything. I lost everything. I'm losing everything. Okarun, you never had anything. You gained something. You gained the inner demon. You lost that. You might gain it back. I mean...
lost that.
So... maybe.
I thought that there was a lot of tension during the Cursed House arc. This takes it up to the next level. Because again, and I've mentioned this before, what does the interaction look like between Okarun and Gigi if Gigi comes back without Momo? You were supposed to protect her! You said you would protect her! Where is she? She's gone! It's your fault! It's not my fault, I tried and I couldn't do it.
If I had my powers, I would have done.
I would have died trying to save her.
Oh, dang, yeah, that would get him. He'll probably bring out the evil eye. Oh yeah.
I'll show you die. And then Corporal or Private Takakura, here's some nanotech.
Hold on. Nanotech versus evil eye fight. Hold on.
We're starting to take sides. We're starting to take sides.
Amen.
And then Okarun finally gets to, not to say that like Evil Eye would be damaged by it necessarily, but I feel like Evil Eye would get a good heart racing type of fight in, and Okarun is just getting out all of those bad emotions. Technically, he's punching Gigi, even though it's not Gigi per se.
Then Sanjime comes in. And...
I'm telling you, Sanjime is coming in when Gigi is at his lowest emotional point. He is going, because he has been the perfect emotional manipulator in this series. It's Adachi with her old mother. She needs money.
And he's a kid.
Murakami when he needs to suffice his vices. It's Koki when she needs to be seen. She needs to regain the spotlight. He has capitalized on their traumatic experiences when they were at their lowest.
And I can already see Ira be like, Gigi, you idiot. That kind of... What are you doing?
Baka. You're friends. We can still go get Momo.
Do you think there'll be somebody else that will actively try to get Gigi back, like on their own? Because the group will, like, whatever.
I think it's Ira. I think Ira is is who will bring it back, because her infatuation with Takakura will allow her to see, from Gigi's point of view, his infatuation with Momo. And then obviously Takakura keeps rejecting her advances. So I feel like she's the perfect middle ground referee between the two. And she was also there when the Cursed House arc essentially concluded. Not that she was there during it, but when they had the whole ceremony, right? Because she was there. So she knows what Evil Eye is capable of if he is let loose.
I have a question. With Reiko's power, is it just with reflections? Or does it have to be like mirror, like material, like it's just reflections, right?
I don't think it specifically has to be glass. I think it is literally just reflections.
Water. That's all I'm gonna say. Water. so let's just say Momo gets lost, since for some reason Reiko is just on the seas traveling.
If there's water below, because I don't know if I can go that far. I know.
I think
I'm just
that
messing with you.
like getting lost at sea, like that thing, I can see that happening.
Mhm.
Whether like even before this, right? Before we even seen this whole typhoon thing, we were even saying like, oh, this is going to like crash over the water. So if that empty space disappears, I think we're going to be overwatered.
Okay.
Or if like the typhoon takes us way out to sea or something like that. I don't know. I can see Reiko. Imagine Reiko traveling over the water just from the reflection. That would be crazy to look at on a panel.
Sure, I'm asking an interesting question. Would time pass in the mirror drive? Actually, what if it's mirrored? What if it runs backwards?
Stop. My brain. Damn it.
I'm just saying, because that could be a way to essentially heal Daiki, or at least in the short term, keep them in the mirror dimension. Zuma too. Okay, I'm not. Should I go this far? Yeah, I think I should. Reiko was a bit smitten by Takakura. Zuma is a very manly man.
You know, it's funny.
She doesn't seem to be too opposed to the ages.
Why not? I mean, he is older than the rest. He's like about to be 18, I think. Technically,
18 or 19.
I think he's
yeah.
So he is older. So I mean, it works.
If that's the man she's looking for, and he literally can't see,
she might have died physically at that age too. She looked
that
pretty
too.
young.
And what's interesting is her lover didn't have his face shown, didn't have anything from the nose upwards.
Oh, do you think he's gonna have like a similar feature?
Could be.
I wonder. I'm trying to think.
He could look similar to her former lover, if she remembers who that was.
Haircut. And it works, I think. Like, Zuma can handle that. He can handle that.
I mean, honestly, like, I can just see some touching scene where he puts like his hands out because he's blind, and he like touches her scarred face. He's like, "You're beautiful," and she's like, "Oh no, oh, you're such a man."
Imagine Brella Boy, big sis-in-law.
Nate-chan.
Get out of here, you brat.
Oh my
Where's
god.
my man?
You have Turbo Granny. Where is Turbo Granny? We have not talked about her in an hour and a half, and we haven't talked about her in a few streams.
Honestly, what do you think she could be doing? Like, realistically, right now, I think it has everything to do with Count Saint Germain. I just don't know what exactly it has.
You think so?
I think she's on a mission beelining for that. After she saw that, I think that's the only thing that's been on her mind. The moment she got her power back, that was it. I just don't know what she's doing though, but it has to do with him.
You know, what if she is already off-world? If she's gone through a transmission system.
I thought we were gonna see a funny ass like final page of a chapter of her like somewhere, like either traveling in space or somewhere else, coming off of like a transmission system. Like, what the hell is she doing?
She's like, she's floating in space. You stupid turd nuggets.
To be continued. Could be hiding, maybe. I don't know what
she could be planning. Yeah, she could be planning her return. Or another idea I had, she could be trying to become human again. What if the next time we see her, she has completed the cycle from yokai to human?
You think Tatsu would do that? I would be fine with it, but I feel like we have to like.
Turbo Granny is a mascot-esque type of character, so it just depends if she retains any features of that. I think she could be turned back into a human. I would be okay with that, personally.
I feel like we'll see her in the backstory first, like before see how she used to look first
in a human form.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Stop it, Sherm. Where's my potato chips?
Unless they do like some kind of silhouette type. You know what? You know what will work pretty well? Have her have like an interaction or a confrontation with just a random stranger, like a child or something. Like her helping out somebody, I don't know, a kid, something like that. And then we're like seeing this person talk, and then we just kind of, go upward, and we see her like, and we're like, who is this? So like, wait a minute, could it be Turbo Granny? I don't know.
Chan.
Yeah, she says something. Yeah.
Oh, I need some more Turbo Granny in my life.
This series is just it's so good for it to not like I said, Skypiea. It's like we're nowhere near nothing yet, really. Like in terms of where we're at in the series, like we've learned things, but we don't know nothing, and we like it this much already. Like the people who said, "Man, I love One Piece since like way back since it first started." Like that's how I feel with Dandadan right now. I'm like, I have no reason to love it this much, but I do.
I think for me, it's the characters, and as much as a zany story as this is, as much as the choreography, as much as the artwork, I mean, we always heap on the praise of Tatsu whenever we can, but for me, it's the characters. I love following a cast, and they could be literally doing anything under the sun, or they could be doing nothing. And as long as the characters are engaging, as long as their interactions, they feel fresh, as long as the characters don't feel like cookie cutter, this is Naruto in one series, this is Sasuke from the same series, I love it. And whenever we have the parallels, keep them coming. This series is so fun. Oh, quick point. I mentioned next Monday is going to be Memorial Day. I will be coming back into town later. There's no chapter. I'm going to reach out to Laz to see maybe that might be a good time. But I don't think he said Mondays were a good day. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to reach out to him to find out. Because I don't know what time I'm going to be coming back. I'm hoping I can be back by about 6 o'clock Eastern. So, like, if it takes me an hour or so to set up, probably about 7:30, maybe at the earliest. I don't know if that's too late.
He's off. Actually, no, he's Canada, I think. I think.
Well, yeah, he'll be.
So, yeah. I was like, are you in the States? But no, no. Probably not. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Again, not the type of discussion that I thought we would have after the chapter, but again, I loved it. I love how we're kind of. I won't speak for you, but tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like the Gigi versus Okaroon Part 2 is upcoming.
There might be some overlap too, depending on 12 episodes. Okay, 3 months. Chapter. Yeah, or maybe even by the end of season 2, we'll probably get back into that if there's no direct overlap. But it's going to happen. I think we're on the mark of some of these theories in this stream. Honestly, like Momo either forgotten or lost. That's something that seems to,
of course,
like it's going to happen.
A choice between Daiki and Momo, splitting of the party.
GG. Yo, the Count Saint Germain one, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's one of those all-time cookings if it happens. Like, another series like, oh, somebody predict like the Shanks twin theory. Like, that's one of those, like, you guys, PSG.
You called your shot. You called your shot and you hit it. I think the gods are going to start playing a more prominent role, for better or for worse.
Damn. Yeah, this series is gonna get deep. The iceberg thing where you go deeper underwater and it just gets crazy.
We're like at the highest level of Impel Down. Yes. This is above the surface of the water.
Yep. But yeah, that's all that I got as well.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do a quick little bit of cross promotion before we get out of here. So Vonte just released season 3, episode 3 of Haikyuu earlier today. I will try to get out the long-awaited season 3, episode 4 moment and episode out on Wednesday. Do stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to get a new Vigilantes video out. We are going to record the newest Vigilantes episode. And Sherm, our boy, as always, keeps us in the loop. He said it was a peak episode, so that will likely come out, I'm thinking probably about Thursday. Later in the week, we are going to continue releasing Fire Force, which has had a bit of a resurgence recently, thankfully. Because at first, we weren't really feeling it. Now, we are loving it. La tome. And then, on top of that, we will be starting up Chainsaw Man manga volume reactions the first Sunday of June. Possibly the second Sunday, but no later than that, I promise. So in less than 3 weeks, we will be having Chainsaw Man manga volume reactions on the channel, in addition to Dandadan every Monday night. Maybe not next Monday night because we're on a break, but we could have a discussion stream. With that being said, thank you, Sherm. I will travel safe. Just going to Virginia to visit my brother for his 30th, so hopefully he's not watching because that was supposed to be a surprise. I don't think he is, but that's okay. As Vonte likes to say, stay. I know what you are. I know where you're coming. As Vonte likes to say, stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. We'll see you in the next video or stream. And peace.
Peace.